When we think about hair care now, our scalp health is so important. Estrogen, just like in your face, on your scalp, when estrogen hits these estrogen beta receptors, it helps basically prevent death of your hair follicles. It helps prevent apoptosis of those hair follicles. So estrogen promotes hair growth and maintaining your hair in that healthy growth cycle and not losing and miniaturizing those hair follicles. So estrogen itself directly helps hydrate your scalp too, which is important for flaking. Same with your skin. This is why we start to notice dullness and dryness in our skin and loss of collagen in our face as we get older. So it's not surprising that as we enter like these seasons of where we're losing estrogen and progesterone, that we're seeing hair loss.
We are Gold Ivy.
Our mission is to empower you to own and unleash your truth.
Stories of resiliency are gold, and ivy grows in hard places.
Those hard places are what creates space for light to shine through.
You decide what works for your daily life and how to transform our lessons into your gold.
This is Ivy Unleashed,
a Gold Ivy production. If you've listened to the podcast for a while, you know I used to be the biggest skeptic about supplements. I thought, I can definitely get everything I need from food. But then I started to realize that high-quality, clean supplements weren't about replacing a healthy diet. They were about optimizing my health in a way I never thought possible. For instance, I discovered what so many women eventually do. I was deficient in magnesium. Now that it's part of my routine, I'm sleeping better and I feel absolutely amazing. It made me realize that quality matters more than anything.
When it comes to taking supplements, ingredient integrity is a must for us both, and that's why we trust Smidge. Smidge offers a small line of foundational supplements, core nutrients, including 100% whole food vitamins, and digestive support for people who prioritize real food but know even the best diets have gaps. They obsess over ingredient integrity, crafting minimal, clean products with zero additives and rich nutrients meticulously sourced from around the world. We both love Smidge's magnesium, but with my chronic gut health issues, Smidge's digestive support is my tried and true. I use their digestive enzymes every single day before meals, and it has been a game changer in post-meal bloat, fatigue, and overall digestion for me. If you have any digestive issues, their enzymes, including the original and HCl plus enzymes, are a must try.
Smidge just dropped some incredible whole food supplements that we've been loving. First up, their Kakadu Plum. Most vitamin C supplements are just mass-produced synthetic chemicals, but this is the real deal from Australia. It's pure, whole food vitamin C that your body actually knows how to use for glowing skin and a rock-solid immune system.
I'm also obsessed with their Australian emu oil. You won't find this at a typical health store. It's the best source of vitamin K2, MK4, which is a total game changer for women's bone and heart health. While plant-based K2 is hard for your body to process, Smidge's emu oil is already pre-converted, so your body absorbs it instantly.
So, if you want a brand that is truly backed by research, derived from sustainable principles, and only wants to provide you with the freshest, highest quality nutrients, it's Smidge.
Head over to getsmidge.com to check out their magnesium, emu oil, Kakadu Plum, and their fantastic digestive enzymes. And don't forget to use our code GOLDIVY10 at checkout for 10% off.
Are you tired of the endless battle with cravings? Do you dream of managing your appetite without the hassle, the side effects, or the hefty price tag?
Then it's time to meet Dr. Stephanie. She's not just a doctor of pharmacy. She's a certified diabetes educator and a leading hormone expert. She listened to your struggles and formulated a gentle, natural solution, GLP Wonder.
GLP Wonder is a revolutionary supplement designed for an easier path to appetite control and hunger management. How? It works by combining powerful natural ingredients like eriocitrin and green tea extract to naturally support your body's own GLP-1 levels. This signals fullness to your brain, curbs those persistent cravings, and even helps fight insulin spikes, that stubborn, fat-storing hormone.
The result? Reduced hunger, better appetite control, and a more natural way to stay on track with your diet and goals. It's effective, it's safe, and it's affordable. Just one capsule per day for powerful results.
GLP Wonder is now easier than ever to find. Look for Dr. Stephanie's GLP Wonder at Walgreens, CVS, and Walmart. And we are thrilled to announce that you can now find it in Target stores nationwide.
Stop waiting and start winning the fight against cravings today. Find your nearest store, or to learn more and shop the full Dr. Stephanie's collection, visit drstephanies.com. And for a limited time, use code GOLDIVY30 for 30% off all Dr. Stephanie products at drstephanies.com.
And now to this episode of the Ivy Unleashed podcast.
Welcome back to Ivy Unleashed. We have a almost birthday girl in the house, a returning guest, our favorite, Dr. Stephanie. Welcome back.
I love you girls. Thank you.
We're so excited. Today, we're specifically going to be talking a lot about hair health, which as a woman is very exciting. But Dr. Stephanie, if you could leave our listeners with one piece of advice today, what would it be right off the bat?
I would say it's never just one thing that is ailing you or causing the hair loss. It can be accumulation of a lot of things, but whether it's drastic hormone shifts due to what we'll talk about, cortisol, estrogen, GLP-1 use, any big fluctuation can put you into that hair loss state. And that is what led me down the road of some of these ancient ingredients, primal ingredients, colostrum, beef organs, shilajit, things Mother Nature has always given us that I think can work through a variety of mechanisms to help you out during the season of your hair growth journey and aging.
Yeah.
That I am experiencing myself.
Which I love that. I think that's my favorite thing about you is not that you have all this knowledge in your head and you're able to express it in a way we can understand. Love that. But I also love that you're living it. Like you are a woman. You're turning 40 tomorrow. Happy birthday.
I can no longer say I'm almost 40, but all day I will say it.
That's right. And I just think it's really cool to be a part of your mission. Like we have partnered with Dr. Stephanie. We promote her products, and it's because she's trying to give us natural ways to take care of ourselves. And as someone that is a few months ahead of Dr. Stephanie, I'm always wondering how to get hair growth to come back. Like I'm constantly weaving in and out of these hormonal shifts that I'm like, that's different and that's different. Or my friends are like a little bit ahead of me and they're having huge issues. And so it's so nice that you are helping us and that you're in Target, you're in all of the things that we can find, we can get at the store. And what we really want to talk about today is hair growth.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of people are on GLP-1s.
Yes.
We've touched on that. We have episodes on GLP-1s. We have Dr. Stephanie has beautiful products that can help you with that journey too. But we want to specifically really get into hair, whether you're on a GLP-1 or not.
Right.
You're getting older. Everybody wants a thick head of hair. They want to keep their thick head of hair. Specifically, from a pharmacist perspective, though, what are the common nutrient thieves or hormonal shifts that are actually causing this?
Okay.
And what should we do before we supplement? You know, like what should we be even like asking ourselves or trying to notice in this process, would you say?
I have so much to say.
Great.
I have so much to say to all the things that you just said. And first of all, I do want to say it's been really fun to build a relationship with you ladies because you have seen me starting and experiencing this season of my life with growing the business, with getting older, with fertility, with perimenopause. And like, I think probably a lot of your listeners and viewers are also experiencing that. And I think from a healthcare provider perspective, and when you're 30 years old and treating patients in the clinic, of course you do the best you can, but until sometimes you're experiencing it yourself, you have like this softness in your heart and empathy, and like you realize how much it impacts your quality of life. And so I really feel like that's my mission right now in living that. Like, how can I help all women with their lifestyle, with natural supplements, which are not a cure-all, but are foundational, and with pharmacology and medications that they should consider or at least be educated on. Coming back to hair growth, and you opened with GLP-1, which is part of the puzzle too, but the stats now are that GLP-1 use impacts about half of America. Like, that's growing in some way, because think about like when we started talking about GLP-1, we're really talking about using GLP-1 for weight loss, maybe a little bit more off label. Some of the online companies are coming out prescribing GLP-1, but now it's like rampant.
Pop-up shops.
There's pills. You've got all these different online. You don't even have to.
The second pill was just approved last week. You know, it's crazy. It's truly crazy. So I think I was just at a trade show, like talking, and I feel like everyone that walked by my booth was like, oh yeah, I'm on a GLP-1. I'm like, wow. I mean, you just never expect it. And whether it's microdosing or therapeutic dose or whatever you want to call it. So I think that's a lot of meat on the bone. So I do want to talk about GLP-1, but you know what? Your question starts with nutrient depletion. So anything you do, any hair care regimen you use, any supplement, you know, like you really need to look at, am I deficient in some key nutrients? And you can maybe guess if you're not getting a well-rounded diet, but why guess when there's so many opportunities to check labs now?
Yeah.
One of the first conversations I had with you ladies, I had a lab panel the next day and I was critically low in zinc. Well, zinc is very important for thyroid health, which is very important for hair growth. So if I rattle off like my most important nutrient deficiencies, if you're looking at hair growth, zinc for sure. But then if you just start supplementing with zinc, high doses long-term can actually also impair your copper absorption. So at that point, you're like, I should be pairing zinc with copper too, right? Iron. Iron's a big one. And if you're a woman who menstruates and loses a lot of blood, or just as you go through perimenopause and you're absorbing iron less efficiently, iron literally helps deliver oxygen more efficiently to your hair follicles. So iron is super important. And I don't have it sitting up here, but one of my favorite ways to get iron is through beef organs. Beef spleen in particular, beef liver too, but mostly beef spleen is one of nature's richest sources of high iron. And it's heme iron. That's important because I think if you're low in iron, you're struggling with anemia or borderline, you're reaching for an iron supplement. And I tend to like ferrous fumarate better than ferrous glycinate, but it still can upset your stomach. It can cause constipation. It doesn't get great absorption. Heme iron is like hundreds of times more bioavailable than other sources of iron.
And this is in beef spleen.
And this is in beef spleen.
Beef spleen. Get you some beef spleen, everybody.
Cheers to the spleen. Are you saying that eating a high meat diet isn't enough for iron? Like if I get tested, I'm low iron, can I just bump up the steaks?
It probably isn't quite sufficient. Okay. It may help a little bit, but I don't think it'll help in a meaningful enough way, because think about our ancestors used to eat nose to tail. So they would actually take those organs too and eat those organs. I had a resident underneath me in some of my years in clinical practice, and she always struggled with that. And one of the other tools I used was blackstrap molasses.
Oh, you know what I use? Blackstrap molasses. You can put it in your coffee enemas, and it helps you keep the coffee up your butt.
Smooth as molasses, everybody.
Another trick. Thanks, bro.
I'm thinking of the person listening to the podcast, because I was just listening to one the other day where they were like giving tips around hormones. And it was like, I want to take notes of all these things I should take, but it's like, wait, before you take it, you should probably test to see if you're even deficient in these things, right? Yeah. So do you know, like, do you have like a quick way to test, or is it like go to your doctor, ask for these things? Like, what would you suggest people do?
It depends on your relationship with your doctor, right? Because like I asked my doctor to test for these things, and it was my OB because I don't have a primary, and they're like, you don't need to do that. And I think sometimes it's just, they're staying in their lane. They have to see 25 patients in that day, and they have that 15 minutes with you to check all these other things. And like now you're asking them to add all these other panels on that they have to also interpret the results and bill for and document for. And so I think there's a lot of online companies now. Joy Wellness is one I used. MIDI Health is a great one. And they just, it's so easy. Like Rhythm is another great one too that just launched, but they have someone come to your house, draw your blood, and within a few days you get your results. And they have these really complete panels for women that includes all of these common nutrients that are depleted. It includes your hormones. You check on day 19 through 21 of your cycle because you're trying to get into that luteal phase after you've experienced ovulation.
So if your OB or your primary is like, no, that's not necessary, keep advocating for your health.
Yeah.
Maybe go through one of these companies.
The thing I like about it too is I feel like it's empowering you to take your health into your own hands. And like I do that every 3 months now, whereas like I'm not going to my OB every 3 months. And so to fit it into your busy lifestyle, just again, having a lab tech come to your house, it's not free. So that would be the other advantage of going to your clinic, is that they may be able to bill it onto your insurance. So if finances are a barrier, I would lean a little bit more towards trying to establishing that relationship with your physician, but for sure getting a baseline of where you're at. But one thing that doesn't matter what the baseline is, or I suppose it does because you should always increase it, is your protein. Like protein is literally the building block of your hair. And so I think that's where we see the most meaningful difference of like, we'll talk about GLP-1, but frankly, it's anything that's causing weight loss, right? You're often not getting enough protein.
Yeah.
And so that protein deficiency, whether it's intermittent fasting, whether it's GLP-1, you're going to experience hair loss. So I think the easiest thing for everyone to do, is increasing protein.
Okay, so protein, getting your iron checked.
Yes.
What about
Zinc, B12.
Okay. What about ferritin? I've been seeing a lot online about ferritin.
Yeah, and I think ferritin's important too because this tells you like your iron binding capacity. And so like what is actually that free level of iron in your body, how well you're able to absorb it. And actually an ingredient that can help balance that is lactoferrin, which is one of the bioactive ingredients in colostrum. So that's, yeah.
Do you know where we could get some of that?
Yeah. Hey, colostrum at Dr. Stephanie's. We are launching my purified colostrum capsules. So it's basically like a concentrated version of colostrum that's optimized for human compatibility. So it's biosimilar to human colostrum, launching in Target stores April 9th over in John Vitamins.
Congrats. That's a good birthday present.
That's a wonderful birthday
Dude,
present.
Target loves
surreal.
you. Target is like, give us everything, Dr. Stephanie.
You know, I think what is so cool is that Target has given us a lot of opportunities for a variety of reasons. But one thing is, I think we work with all the retailers, so I don't want to show complete favoritism. Like I love Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens we do business with. But Target really takes a leap of faith when it comes to innovation and bringing newness in and like looking at really trending ingredients. So that has been a great opportunity for someone like myself who like, I'm always looking at innovation, but combining it with the science, you know? So it's like, okay, we know a lot about colostrum. There's like 5,000 research studies on all the bioactive nutrients in colostrum. Beef organs have been around forever. Shilajit has been around forever. So even though it's like, these are maybe trending, we still do have a lot of research on them and they've been around forever. But lactoferrin, you'll start to see now on your Instagram, lactoferrin coming out of the woodwork.
And sorry, I keep going back to Target, but I feel like the reason that makes so much sense because I feel like, yes, you're innovative. You want new products for people. You're trying to help people. You're going through it, but your brain is full of the science. Like you are Target. Like you are like the walking guys.
You are red cowboy boots.
You are so trendy. You are so stylish. Like you're so fit. Like you are the epitome of like the walking fitness like health guru that has all the information in their brain. And I feel like in the midst of what you're going through to be able to work with them and put these products out. And I also feel like you're listening to your audience, like what people want, what they're saying, their pain points, and in real time creating what they need. And I also love that you take competitors' stuff and you test them and then you see that they're not legit and then you make legit products. That's all might be my favorite part.
Can I say one more thing about that? But first of all, thank you. That means so much to me. Like I could cry. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That means a lot. I just saw a new brand that launched in Target and it was on NCAP. And I'm not going to name names, but there's a berberine product and I turned around. It's like berberine 28%. I'm like, what? Does that
is the product
mean?
and it's 20% the product only?
Yeah.
What else
So
is
your
in
capsule,
this?
28% of it is berberine. I'm like, nothing. It's literally only berberine. I'm like, well, our berberine and most berberine you should be taking is 97% standardized extract. So I'm
Why
like,
berberine? Like, why should I take berberine?
So berberine's so great for...
She loves berberine.
Yes, I love berberine. Berberine's so great for naturally supporting weight loss, supporting blood sugar, supporting insulin health. So, but it also is so great for heart health, cholesterol, just overall metabolic wellness. Even I feel like some of the really reputable sources who try not to be biased with natural ingredients and comparing them to pharmaceuticals, they're like, berberine is nature's Ozempic, or berberine is as effective as metformin for type 2 diabetes. And I'm not making that a claim as Dr. Stephanie's, but I'm just saying, like, this ingredient out of all the mainstay ones that I would say, magnesium, vitamin D, creatine, berberine, I think, has the most robust evidence for metabolic health. And so it will stay a trend and it will stay relevant because of how effective it is. It's not just a trend.
Yeah, I have a coaching client who didn't want to take a GLP-1 and was like, I'm just going to take berberine, and is obsessed for that reason. It's crazy.
My bus driver, not my bus driver, my kid's bus driver. Not my bus driver.
I love it.
She's probably not listening, but if she is, hi, Janie, we love you.
Jamie, what's up?
I gave her a few products of ours to try, and she's like, yeah, I like them, but that berberine, I tell you, I love that berberine. Can I get some more of that berberine? So
if someone listening is like, okay, I hear you, I'm going to order some labs. I'm going through perimenopause. I know I'm stressed. I probably don't need enough protein, but just for feeling like I'm doing something, I want to take 3 supplements to help with hair health. What are those 3 supplements you'd recommend?
I would do a zinc and combined with copper supplement. I would do a protein and collagen shake every day, because I think that's I use the bone broth, protein and collagen combination. And I think this is indirectly related, but of course I think iron is important, but I don't. Can I have 4? Can I have 4?
Yeah, you might have 4.
Beef organs. Sorry. And then the 4th would truly be magnesium. And it's not because magnesium is a building block for hair growth, but cortisol and stress is such a leading cause for hair loss and hair thinning. And magnesium is just the most effective way to help support healthy cortisol balance. So I think.
Oh, I love it. And why, once you're in your 30s, 40s, are we losing our hair? What is happening? Why could we be stressed in our 20s? I was so stressed in my 20s that I lost hair, but not now.
I know.
What's the hormonal shift? What's actually happening, and why are we losing it?
Yeah, your estrogen and your progesterone are very protective. They're anti-inflammatory by nature. And so, you look at as you enter perimenopause, and this is true of postpartum. I think everyone has accepted and knows postpartum. Through pregnancy, you have that huge climb of estrogen, right? And then after birth, your levels plummet and drop really rapidly. And so you go, oh, I'm going to lose some hair because of those big hormone swings. And over the next few months, especially 3 to 4 months after you have that big stressful event, hint, hint, right? That's when you start to notice the hair shedding. And then a few months after that, maybe you start to notice hair regrowth. Think of perimenopause as a more extended version of postpartum. So your estrogen may be declining, but it kind of, if you're watching, I'm doing a zigzag graph up to down. And then progesterone is more of a decline, and your testosterone is declining too. So I think there's a direct, as you lose estrogen, what does estrogen do on your scalp? And now I'm laughing and I'm going to be distracted because I was just thinking about, have you guys seen the Instagram videos or TikTok videos of women wiping vaginal estrogen all over their faces?
No, that's new.
Okay, well, we should have opened with this. Yes.
Say more.
Yes. So think of your scalp like your face, like your skin, right? So we are really when we think about hair care now, our scalp health is so important. Estrogen, just like in your face, on your scalp, when estrogen hits these estrogen beta receptors, it helps keep it helps basically prevent death of your hair follicles. It helps prevent apoptosis of those hair follicles. So estrogen promotes hair growth and maintaining your hair in that healthy growth cycle and not losing and miniaturizing those hair follicles. So estrogen itself directly helps hydrate your scalp too, which is important for flaking. Same with your skin. This is why we start to notice dullness and dryness in our skin and loss of collagen in our face as we get older. So it's not surprising that as we enter like these seasons of where we're losing estrogen and progesterone, that we're seeing hair loss. But one other thing, an important hormone, is testosterone and androgens, right? So what happens as our estrogen drops is our androgens take over. So there's more androgen than estrogen around. Well, testosterone gets converted to dihydrotestosterone, DHT. So if you're in the hair care space, you're looking around DHT blockers. My husband's on Propecia or finasteride, saw palmetto, pumpkin seed oil. These are natural DHT blockers. But basically, testosterone converts to DHT. It shrinks your hair follicles.
Oh.
So as you get older, less estrogen protecting that. Now you have more DHT shrinking your hair follicles, in addition to having less estrogen. So this is an uphill battle. So pumpkin seed oil is a trending ingredient that we see too, can help with that.
Would you like massage it on your scalp?
Yeah, well, actually you can take it orally. So there's both ways. So, and this is where I actually kind of coming back to the Target conversation too. I'm all over the place here, but like I have a really hard time staying in my lane because I think supplements are foundational, but they're not everything, which is why I wanted to pitch a weighted vest, which is why I want to be in the sporting good department and I want to be in the hair care department.
Can you also do ankle weights, please and thank you?
Maybe a clothing line.
Right. Like all the things, because it's like women's health is not siloed to one category.
Right.
And that's where my dream is that as you think of the Dr. Stephanie's brand or Dr. Steph, it's like, it's all areas of your life, food and beverage, hair care, supplements, mom care, baby care.
Empire building. Building empire.
I'm going to be honest. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm hearing all of these supplements.
Yeah.
I just turned 30 and you guys are making 40 seem like, whoop, such a joy. And so when we talk about cortisol, let's talk about why that affects hair loss and that wired but tired feeling like I'm tired, but I keep chugging the coffee and, how do we break that cycle? Because I've seen a lot online. I've been into Reddit lately, which probably is not great for my mental health.
I do the same thing.
It's like,
it's not.
It's like this trend and people stop coffee, they stop caffeine, and it has done wonders for hair growth. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. So
cheers.
Cortisol. Well,
hard habit
hold on.
to break.
First of all, I'm not 40 yet.
Sorry, you're right.
No, I'm
sorry,
kidding.
Andrew.
Although I feel like I come in here in a tizzy and always crazy, like I do feel like I feel great and I feel like my health is very optimized and I feel like I'm more fit than I've ever been. And I feel like my sleep is better than it's ever been because I'm being conscious with it. And I'm just more intentional with all my choices. And I know time is a gift and it's not unlimited. So you're just really enjoying everything. So my life today looks so differently than it did in my 30s. But I also want to give encouragement to anyone listening that like, these for sure can be the best years ever and continuing on.
And I also want to just jump in. I think it's so important though that we're talking about these things because a lot of women, I think they don't want to admit that their hair's falling out or they don't want to admit that they're having these whatever. And we're trying to be ahead of it. Cause like I feel great too, but it's like I am noticing little changes and I'm like, I'm going to be proactive and I want to talk about it. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What am I doing? What does the pharmacist say? I think it's good we're talking about it. And I'm trying not to complain or sound like...
But I'm surrounding myself with older women so I don't have to go through this. Yeah. That sounds selfish, but let's have this conversation.
We're the test dummies.
You guys do it first so that I
know.
You walked so I could run.
Your generation is going to be so prepared for this because what you do in your 20s, but your 30s for sure, 35 to 45, like that's considered your critical decade where you are writing the runway for your health down the road. So kudos. And cortisol. So your question about cortisol, this is hard because I think one of the things I said when I opened is it's never just any one thing. And that's like how I look at cortisol, because I'm like, well, cortisol is good. I'm not one that has given up my coffee yet. Like cortisol, we need cortisol. Cortisol in the morning wakes us up, but we just don't want to have high cortisol all day long, right? Cortisol puts us in the sympathetic state, fight or flight, or running from the tiger. All these things happen. And then we're supposed to calm down through the day and go through our parasympathetic state, right? As Andrew Huberman says, whether you hate him or love him, breathe in twice through your nose and then through your mouth, and that can instantly calm you. But it's true. Like, it's like we have run in, you go, why could I handle everything so great? Like in my 20s or in my 30s, I'm handling all this stress, but like our body is better designed to handle stress. And so that's actually one of the first signs of aging and perimenopause that we see is your ability to handle stressful situations is blunted. And you're just like, this is pissing me off. And like, I'm just not able to juggle as many things as I used to juggle. And I can't keep up, and I can't run on no sleep, and I can't run on drinking wine and then thinking I can just go the next day. Like alcohol's impacting you. And so cortisol impacts sleep. It impacts your ability to make thyroid hormone and convert T4 into activated T3 thyroid hormone that your body can use. Cortisol, high cortisol all the time, causes high insulin. It causes insulin resistance. This is your fat storing hormone. So you're storing fat more easily. So high cortisol causes weight gain because it has high insulin. It makes you hungrier, craving salty, sugary foods, those foods that give you high rewards, high dopamine spikes. It totally messes up your sleep cadence, which that poor sleep quality also causes water retention and causes more weight gain, and then makes you more tired the next day and makes you reach for caffeine. And then the caffeine is a vicious cycle, and you can see how it all just, it's all connected. It's all connected. So it's never any one thing. But the problem is like the constant high cortisol. And what you said is interesting to me. I haven't tried this with caffeine yet, but I think my recommendation would be like, believe that this will make a difference for you. And an example that I'm going to get to is an Oura ring. Like, I just think everyone should try an Oura ring maybe for 2 weeks. You know, if you hate it, you can return it, but like try an Oura ring for 2 weeks. Just buy it. And then again,
What's your HRV?
It's all over the place.
Mine is so low. So my problem, I'm mentioning high cortisol because I feel like that's what we hear a lot, but my cortisol is really low. So like I have a hard time getting going in the morning, and that's why I reach for caffeine.
Hard time to get out of bed.
Yes. And so I have all of the quote unquote symptoms of high cortisol, but it can also, those symptoms can show up when you have low cortisol, which I think is important to note.
Right.
So like I got the Oura ring to really be able to see, okay, I know I'm stressed. This HRV is really low. What habits really impact the HRV, make a difference? And for those listening, the HRV shows like how well you can handle stress.
Heart rate variability.
Heart rate variability. I feel like I was in denial about so many things that impacted my sleep until I saw the data myself.
Oh.
It is like the most effective training tool for behavioral change.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
So alcohol, what else did you notice?
Alcohol for sure. 1 glass of wine, and especially if it's within 3 hours before bedtime. Absolutely eating too close to bedtime.
That's what I noticed too.
Eating too close to bedtime. I might as well have drank alcohol.
3 hours before you go to bed, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
But like, you know.
But I feel so much better when I don't. Like,
I know.
It's
you are maybe hungry and a
like
little painful going to bed, but you're like,
shit's right.
This little shit is right. It's that 1 glass of wine that you think isn't impacting you, and it is. And again, I love my wine. So it's like, now that I see it, you're like, alcohol flatlines your sleep. You don't get the REM and you don't get the deep sleep. It's like a flat line, no pulse. And when you see that, because you're like, well, I slept 8 hours. Like, it's fine. It was 1 glass. It's like, no, it does impact you. And now that you're going to be 40, your bacteria and enzymes in your gut are digesting alcohol different. And so it's like, again, I feel like my tendency was to say people that are like, oh no, alcohol does impact. I'm like, well, it doesn't me. It doesn't impact me. That's you, maybe, but like I can tolerate it really well. And I still drink. So again, like take this with a grain of salt. But I think when you see what alcohol does to you, when you see what eating before bedtime does to you, what you see, like I have a tendency to work before bed after the kids too. And that exposure to light and like activation of my brain, I do see that impact like my sleep score. Consistently taking magnesium and going to bed at an earlier time rapidly improves my deep sleep score. So making sure, you're getting that deep sleep earlier in the night. Maybe you're waking up often throughout the night too. You really are mindful of things. Caffeine, even late in the morning.
What?
I know, as I'm drinking this. But like for sure after 12, like I started to pattern out. I was having another cup of coffee at the office at lunch. It's like, oh, when I stopped
Let me tell
doing
people
that.
what they can do instead.
Andrea slams down her coffee.
She's like, I need to be done now. No,
Not
super.
my hands, look at my
Dr.
hands.
Stephanie's Superfruit Energy as your afternoon pick me up
Yes.
is a great move. Caffeine free. It's great.
What's all in it that helps you get the boost?
What's all in it? It is, so it's this branded ingredient my favorite hero ingredient in it is this branded ingredient called Elevate TP, which is actually like an organic apple extract. So it takes the polyphenols out of this apple extract, but that actually has clinical studies behind it that show that it improves your mitochondrial health and it helps your mitochondria make more ATP, which is like the energy currency of your body. I think mitochondrial health is like a topic that's so trending right now, but no one actually knows what it means.
Just think more energy. It's got to be more energy,
more
right?
energy.
Powerhouse of your cells.
Powerhouse of your cells. Goji berry, CoQ10, vitamin B12.
Oh,
so
I hear about
just some of the
CoQ10 a lot too.
CoQ10 has gained a lot of traction for cardiovascular health, especially. I used to use it all the time in the clinic for people who are on statin therapies and high cholesterol medications. That can actually deplete your CoQ10 enzyme. So we would use it in combination there. But
That's why it was a fast mover. I used to work in a pharmacy. It was always on like the fast move. Like we used it a lot. That's why, because it goes with
you
the
pair
statin.
it with the statin at 200 milligrams. A lot of times use infertility journeys now. They'll use it for improving egg quality too.
Okay.
So, but it's a powerful antioxidant. So,
All right.
So lots of different things that women can do to help with cortisol, with their sleep. Like lifestyle changes is kind of what we're talking about. What about the HRT world for women that are in perimenopause?
yeah. And one more thing about the cortisol, because I know we're talking about a lot of different things, but I know like the goal is as it relates to hair health, like I think a lot of people can pinpoint to, oh my gosh, a very stressful, traumatic experience in their life that caused huge surges of cortisol for a period of time. And that can, again, a few months down the road, you start noticing like I was losing hair from that. Same with postpartum, same with perimenopause. And we can jump into like GLP-1 use too, but maybe before we hop on to HRT, but GLP-1. So I think now like a lot of people are saying, oh, hair loss is this unexpected side effect of GLP-1. What's interesting is that it's not necessarily the mechanism of GLP-1 that's causing hair loss. It's the rapidity of weight loss. And so now that each generation of GLP-1 that's coming out is more powerful than the previous, you're losing weight more rapidly because it's not just targeting GLP-1, it's targeting GLP-1 and GIP, or retatrutide is GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon, or amylin, or its longer acting version. 2x the potency because it's hitting the receptor harder. It's like what pharma is doing is maybe they're with each generation also minimizing some of the GI side effects. I know they're studying minimizing some of the lean muscle loss and how do we preserve lean muscle. Good. But what we're not seeing is how is this translating to beauty? Ozempic face, that sunken face, and from, again, losing weight so rapidly, however you do it, and hair loss. At any point, so you look at a hair cycle, right? This telogen, I always call it telogen, but like technically it's called telogen to the anagen phase. That's your resting phase of your hair follicle. To the anagen phase is your active hair growth phase. And then it goes back into shedding and then resting phase. So at any point, maybe you have like 15% of your hair is going from growing into the shedding and then the resting phase. What we see with GLP-1 users, and I don't have a study saying this is the same with like a traumatic event or something, but like what we see with GLP-1 users or just with rapid weight loss is that 40% of your hair can enter that shedding phase all at once. And that's what's called telogen effluvium. So all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, it seems like I'm losing and shedding all my hair at once. However, once the weight loss stabilizes and once your hormone stabilizes over the next few to several months, your hair can start growing back. So any sort of stress, it's not just GLP-1 mechanism, but I will say what is specific to GLP-1 is coming back to the nutrients, right? If you're delaying gastric emptying, you're affecting absorption of these nutrients, you're have this drastic reduction in appetite and you're just not getting enough whole foods, enough nutrients, enough protein, you're going to have hair loss too from that. GLP-1 can also impact perfusion and circulation. So like circulation of blood to your scalp, delivering nutrients to your scalp. So sometimes that can be impacted. It's just there's a lot, it's never any one thing. There's like all these things that makes it sound overwhelming. But at the end, I think we can give you like, here are these 5 things.
You know what's so interesting to me is like human behavior and how I really think that our culture is now changing to this like skinny culture again. I like it's.
I know
it's so scary to me for self-esteem for girls and all of that. Again, I feel like we're going back to the 90s, but
everything's cyclical.
Yeah, but it's like they would rather get the weight loss and then figure out how to like take care of this aftermath stuff later, or like the lean muscle later, or all these things later. And I totally get it, because it's like you want results right now. You want to feel good in your body. And so I'm not judging anybody on a GLP-1, but I'm so happy we're talking about like, okay, you got on it, your hair is gone. Like, what can we do now? And like, let's understand what's happening in your body so that 1, you could test, or 2, you could know some natural ways to like take care of these things.
I think it can be an right? Like if you are on a GLP-1, you also need to be focusing on strength training, hitting your protein, making sure you're getting these nutrients. Just like if you are on an antidepressant for your mental health, we would also tell you, you got to be taking care of your mental health by exercise, by water, by sleep. Like it isn't a one or the other.
Multifactorial. Right. Yeah. Right. They go hand in hand. And as it pertains to GLP-1, you're losing weight too fast.
Hey everyone, if you're like me, January through May means cold and flu season. But this year, I'm ready. Besides the all things elderberry gummies my kids ask for every morning, I want to talk about something that is a non-negotiable in my fridge, the everyday elderberry elixir from All Things Elderberry. They call it an elixir, not a syrup, and here's why. It's made with organic, farm-fresh Missouri elderberries, never dried. That gives it a light, uniquely juicy, and palatable consistency. It's not thick or overly sweet. And the difference it makes for me is huge. For me, a tablespoon anytime I feel that first little tickle in my throat, or before a big event where I absolutely refuse to be sick. It either completely kicks symptoms to the curb or lessens them so fast. Even my oldest, Cora, is asking for it. I will never not have it. It's my daily defense. And who needs that defense more right now than our bride-to-be, Brooke?
Ooh, yes. Wedding season is basically a marathon. Between the bridal showers, the bachelorette trip to Florida, and all the main events, I don't have time to be run down. The thought of getting sick before my bachelorette trip, no thank you. I'm taking my elderberry elixir with me every morning, whether I'm at home or on the road. It's my little insurance policy, so I can fully enjoy this once-in-a-lifetime season without worry. It's literally for the mom who holds everything together and the bride who is trying to hold her wedding together.
That's right. Whether you're a busy parent, a traveler, or a bride prepping for the big day, you deserve this defense. Stop letting illness slow you down. Head over to allthingselderberry.com right now.
And for 15% off your very first order, use our special code GOLDIVY. That's GOLDIVY. Get the everyday elderberry elixir. It's the defense you deserve.
Before we get back to today's conversation, I want to talk about something that hits most of us as we enter the premenopausal and menopausal years. That sudden, frustrating shift in how our bodies feel. We often talk about hot flashes, but we don't talk enough about the menopause middle. The stubborn bloating, the brain fog, and the fact that our digestion just seems to stall.
This isn't just in your head, it's in your microbiome. Trust me, I have worked for years to continually care for my gut health. As we age, our estrogen and progesterone levels drop, and we actually lose the diversity of the good bacteria in our gut. This dysbiosis leads to an increase in inflammatory bacteria, which is why we suddenly struggle with constipation, mood swings, and even sleep disturbances. That's why I want to introduce you to Relievance.
Relievance isn't just another fiber supplement. It was developed by Dr. Robert A. Gans, a nationally recognized board-certified gastroenterologist with over 30 years of clinical experience. Dr. Gans saw the limitations of standard fiber products and created this proprietary 8-fiber formula.
What makes Relievance different is the science of balance. It combines 8 different fibers, each selected for their specific viscosity and solubility. This allows the formula to dissolve gently and support your natural gut rhythm without the harsh gas or bloating often caused by single fiber supplements.
By increasing your fiber intake with a blended formula like Relievance, you're doing more than just staying regular. You're feeding the beneficial bacteria that help regulate your hormones, clear that menopause brain fog, and stabilize your energy levels. It's a tool to help fight the physiological effects of aging and reclaim your daily comfort.
It is third-party tested, gluten-free, and contains 0 artificial additives or fillers. It's just pure, clinically balanced support for a sensitive stomach. Sign me up.
If you're ready to target bloating at the source and support your microbiome through this transition, it's time to try the formula Dr. Gans developed for his own patients.
For your convenience, you can find Relievance Fiber right on Amazon or visit relievancefiber.com. Feel like yourself again with Relievance.
You don't want to lose weight that fast for so many reasons, and hair loss is one of them. If you're going, 60 to 0, like, you're going to lose a lot of hair. You just are. Mm-hmm. And if you're losing, a couple pounds a week, 1 pound a week, you're titrating your dose very slowly, you're working closely with a healthcare provider that knows you. Mm-hmm. These are the things that are going to set you up for success, because that's going to help you hold on to the muscle. That's going to help you hold on to your hair. That's going to help with your skin elasticity, slow transitions. That's going to help with your metabolism, right? Yeah. Because that's the biggest thing is just like 20 seconds we talked about before, but you lose all this weight. Well, you're losing that muscle loss. And then when you go off of it, your hunger is resurging, and then you're eating, but you're gaining it back as fat. So now your fat to muscle ratio is higher than it was before you started. Mm-hmm. And that makes you metabolically not healthy. So your muscle is your metabolism. That's why muscle is so great. And I think it's a reflex for a lot of us still to be like, I don't need muscle. Like, I love the weight loss, and that's great, but your metabolism is going to be 0 if you have no muscle. You need muscle.
Yeah, like this is such a big change for women.
Right.
It's a hormonal change. What about then those that are also going through hormonal changes with perimenopause?
Which is most, right? The highest demographic using GLP-1 is also that perimenopausal women. Mm-hmm. And there are studies now out that show pairing hormone replacement therapy or HRT with GLP-1 gives you synergistic benefits and synergistic weight loss. Part of that is because estrogen also helps with insulin resistance. It helps your insulin work better. So coming back to that insulin, right, you're not getting such easy fat deposition, because as your estrogen's dropping, your insulin resistance going up, and now you're just storing everything as visceral belly fat. Mm-hmm. So estrogen can help with that, but also estrogen, progesterone, because they help you. Not everyone, but they can help you sleep better. They can help give you more energy, more vitality, more drive to go work out and go exercise. There can be magical for some women starting a GLP-1 for weight loss, but helping them get into a fitness regimen, helping them really push through plateaus. So.
I feel like GLP-1 should come with a health coach.
I agree, 100%.
Like, how are we going to have some lifestyle changes in the midst of this? Or like a therapist. I just feel like what you don't know, you don't know. Mm-hmm. And it is so accessible. I know people I know are like, well, I'm a little overweight and I'm not on one. Should I be on one? They're on one. Should I? It's like the new conversation.
Or models.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of models are taking them to stay skinny.
For inflammation.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It does lower inflammation. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But,
Yeah. And I just want to hit home, like we've talked about this on multiple episodes now with Dr. Stephanie with GLP-1s. Like we're not judging what people are doing. We're not promoting taking a GLP-1. We're not saying don't take one. What we are saying is like, we want your health supported both with your mental health and your physical health. And the more information that you can have, the better. The more we can talk about what people are doing and how to actually, like what's happening in your body, and for you to understand it either before you're on it or while you're on it now, so that you can have a beautiful, vibrant life. Like that's what this is all about, is like feeling our best, having information, having support, like us being like, hey, whatever you're doing, I don't care. Of course you want to look good. We all want to look good, but we don't feel good when half our hair's out of our head. Like, what are we doing about it? And so I just want to hit home. There's no judgment on what you're doing and what you're not doing. We just want solutions and information and beautiful products to help, especially because they're natural.
Yeah, let's talk about, for those that are watching on YouTube, you'll see some products here. For those that aren't watching, we've got, you alluded to this earlier, but the colostrum, which I also love for immune health.
Yes.
I recently had blood work done and my immune system was in the tank. And so this has been super helpful, knock on wood, but I haven't gotten sick yet. And I was like in a really bad streak of every month around my cycle. But this guy right here, the Shilajit that you've heard us talk about. Shilajit. So this, it's not caffeine. It's not a stimulant.
Right.
But I'm curious, will this give you that drive? Is it immediate, like I take this, I feel the boost? Like talk to us about this and what we can expect if we start taking it.
That's so great. You set this up so well, actually, because like all of the things you said, yes, but Shilajit is really cool. So this actually, I when I was starting down my research on Shilajit, some of the oldest evidence shows that these scientists saw monkeys licking the side of the Himalayan mountains and the rocks because in the summer months, this tar oozes out of the cracks of the rocks. Because you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
What am I taking? Why would I need to take that? Tar. And that's how you see it advertised now all the time. It's like this resin. It's a tar resin that you can put in your hot water or your coffee. But that got their attention, right? So they started studying this, and basically over hundreds of years, it sounds disgusting, but it's like decomposed plant matter, and it resists. It's like this super food that's so resilient in high elevations and has changes in the microbial pathogens that make these byproducts anyway.
Okay.
Beyond me. But what comes out of it is this Shilajit. And Shilajit is very, very rich in fulvic acid. That's important because fulvic acid acts like a little buddy pass, and it takes all of your trace minerals and gives them an easy way to get into your cells, into your mitochondria for energy, right? So it's like it makes all of your other nutrients and minerals work better. So it's such a nice synergistic product for overall wellness and vitality with energy, because you are getting over 80 plus trace minerals in addition with this. Part of the problem is that like Shilajit tastes horrible. It tastes horrible. And so I have tried a lot of, again, I hate naming other brands that I don't like, but like brands I respect, I'll try their liquid Shilajit or like a chewable or a gummy form. And I'm like, never again. I will never again try this.
And no.
Right. And I feel like everyone's sick of capsules, but you know what? This is something I want as a freaking capsule. So our Shilajit's in a capsule. Shilajit, because it's coming from the rock, it actually is rich in heavy metals. It's like naturally occurring, has a high contamination of heavy metals. So the other part is like using this powdered extract allows us to filter out those heavy metals too. So from a safety perspective, it is standardized to 60% of fulvic acid, which is great because if you're just reaching for a Shilajit product to try on the market, you're like, it could be 5% fulvic acid. But like with this, it's 60%. So you're really, really getting the benefit. But energy, no stimulants, just making your minerals really work better in your body. Hormone balance. Shilajit has for a long time been used for men's health, for men's testosterone health, like as a vitality and testosterone booster. But think about us women going through perimenopause and hormone replacement therapy. Testosterone is the other hormone that's so important for us. And I feel like you could probably speak to this a little bit too if you want to share more. But
while we're talking,
yeah. Take one and then increase to two if you want.
Take one down, pass it around.
All of us at the warehouse, we're all like everything came in, but like everyone was running for the Shilajit because
yeah, I don't have any coffee left to take it with.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Okay.
But it can help with testosterone balance. So for women, that's really important because you think of testosterone just as a male hormone. This is so important for women. Our testosterone after late 30s starts to decline rapidly every year. This is where your libido comes from. This is your drive, your motivation, your energy. So testosterone is really important. So I'm like, hello, that is like a wonderful benefit.
Why wouldn't I take Shilajit?
Why wouldn't I? And you have to be careful too, like how I talk about it, because I think women are like, why would I want something testosterone? I'm like, you do, trust me. Like that's part of your hormone replacement plan is having some sort of testosterone.
So like, am I gonna feel a little energy from this pill? Well, does it compound over time?
It compounds over time. Okay. Great question. So I don't expect, so
take it again.
If you're zipping around the room today, please text me and let me know. But it is one of those that like, over time, you're going to get more benefits. Like over a week or 2 weeks, you're definitely going to start to notice just vitality. But over long-term use, it does help with healthy aging because of the mitochondrial support. It also, if you're a fitness buff like myself or guru, just like love working out, it can help also with recovery from your workouts.
Man, I'm excited. We've hit home a lot of products.
What's so funny with supplements is I used to take nothing at all until actually my hair started falling out. Because I think that is one way to, or like your skin. Yeah. If your skin or hair start to do funky things, you will take anything.
And they're in tandem a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me, it was just like around 35-ish was like hormone shifts. I also started a business around then. So it could have been like stress. It's everything we're talking about. And everybody can relate to it because it's like, when you've got kids running around, when you're running a business, when you're planning your wedding, when you're like, everybody has the stressors, and sometimes your body just gives you signs. And with supplements now, I'm taking lots of things, but it makes sense. And I know you take a lot of things too, and I think there's no shame in like trying to find the solutions that actually help us. And I do feel like we talked about a lot of things, and you do create a lot of products. So do you want to just like speak to anybody that feels like overwhelmed with products, or like any way to take shame away from trying different supplements in order to get these solutions?
This is tricky because this kind of goes in line with like cycling products and being intentional with your products too, because I agree with you. Like if you're starting everything that we rattled off through the whole episode, like that's a lot of different things. And I think that also opens up innovation for new products when I think about it. Like, I'm like, okay, well, this is what we need here. But I think as you look at it, there's like obvious foundational things that I think every woman should be taking: protein, collagen, magnesium, vitamin D. And then from there.
Wait, say that slower. Vitamin D, collagen,
protein, magnesium.
You mentioned the bone broth. Talk about that. What does that look like in your day?
So it's called Paleo Valley is my favorite one, right? And they have a bone broth protein that also is rich in collagen. I hate taking collagen. So I just again, it depends on the season of your life, because if you talked to me 6 years ago when I had 2 babies and you told me to make a shake every day, I would be like,
no, thank
you. Like, that sounds great. I am not fitting that into my life because I literally don't even have time to get that out of the cupboard.
Yeah.
But I have made it a priority for me because I know I'm not getting enough protein, and it's just so easy. It's an easy way to like add a few things in at once, is like this shake, you know? Okay. But I think from there, you need to really wrap your head around labs and then your health goals, and then not try to fix everything at once, but then also not expect everything to be fixed by any one thing, right? So don't just take zinc, don't just take iron, don't just take B12, like actually know where your levels are so you can intentionally supplement where you need to. Mm-hmm. If hair loss happens to be a specific pain point for you, and that's what you want to focus on, and it depends what's your tolerance of like how many things you're willing to take. Hair loss in particular, that's where I am saying colostrum is a must. Colostrum helps. It has bioactive nutrients that help accelerate the conversion from the telogen to the anagen cycle. So it helps accelerate your hair back into that hair growth cycle. So I love that. Beef organs, again, like I, in hindsight, should have them all in the same product, right? And I will. Maybe that's future SKU, everything in one. But then you'll have to take 100 pills. But beef organs, beef spleen, having that iron, but really bioavailable forms of these irons. So like, again, intentionally, like I'm not just taking a multivitamin or not just throwing iron in, but like I'm going to take one that's thoughtfully made for me. Mm-hmm. And DHT blockers, pumpkin seed oil is again one. And you asked if that was topically, there's like so many things we could still talk about if that was topically effective, but like, yes, pumpkin seed oil, colostrum, estrogen, orally help with hair, but also topically, if you apply it to your scalp, pumpkin seed oil, estrogen, and colostrum all can locally at the level of your scalp also help stimulate hair growth. But if you're like hormone balance or just aging, right? Here's your try an Aura ring for 2 weeks. You have to sleep, because I don't care what supplement you take. If you're not sleeping, nothing is going to be right for you. Your exercise, your hormone balance, your cortisol levels, your thyroid, your energy. So sleep, sugar. I just have to finish with this. Sugar. I feel, again, it's so easy to be in denial of these things. This isn't impacting my sleep. Well, here's the data. Give yourself a week of something. Give yourself a week of like cutting out the caffeine if you want.
Why are you looking
That's
at
not
me?
me yet. Why?
Look at
It's
Kathy
not
with her.
me.
Look at sugar with me.
It's not me. But sugar, I'm like, that doesn't impact me. And then it's like when I cut out sugar for just like 2 days, I am the skinniest I've ever been and not bloated at all. And like, I can't believe with aging how sugar causes inflammation in my body.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So wanted to say that.
So with all this hair talk, would you ever create hair specific supplements?
Something may be coming. I, again, have a hard time staying in my lane. So when I found out that not only do these ingredients, when you ingest them, help with hair growth, skin health, all the things, but when you apply them topically directly to your scalp, think about the absorption right there at your hair follicles. You're like going right to the source. So definitely stay tuned for some topical solutions from myself. And again, now you're going to see women on Instagram rubbing vaginal estrogen all over their face. And maybe I have an estrogen type serum coming out soon. So
Gosh,
stay
it's
tuned,
so
everyone.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Again, the pain points, Dr. Stephanie's like, I have the brain to create this, and I will. And watch me be in
Ask
every
and you
story.
shall receive.
That's right.
Well, and to your point, it's like there's so many supplements, and you're right. So like if I can minimize some of the burden of how many things you need to take by just having a topical option too, like why wouldn't you?
You know what Target's going to do? They're going to be like, okay, we can either just give Dr. Stephanie an entire aisle of our store, or
Here's the category.
we're gonna they're gonna invest in you to like build your own CVS store that's just like not CVS, because then it would be like you're gonna need your clothing, your athletic wear that you'll eventually make. You'll have your supplements, you'll have your hair.
Microplastic free.
Then you'll
A
do
vest.
makeup. I could see a makeup line coming.
Non-toxic makeup line?
Yes, it's probably good for your hormones somehow.
Well,
Some
it should be
skincare.
it should be dual, right? Just like the hair care, non-toxic but functional. Here I'm putting concealer on, but at the same time, it has ingredients that are evening my skin tone and
She's gonna have skincare line.
All
the
the
skincare
things,
line's coming.
yeah.
What else can
Yeah.
you predict?
Jewelry with your own version of an aura ring.
Oh, your own aura ring.
If you try the Aura Ring for 2 weeks, I just try it for 2 weeks. I promise you your life will be different.
Yeah, I agree.
Send it back if you don't like it.
Gosh, the possibilities. You're so inspiring, Dr. Stephanie.
Okay, out of
So excited.
everything we talked about today, I want to know what 3 takeaways would you leave our listeners with?
Number 1, sleep, right? Aura Ring. I just said it, reiterating that. Number 2, get your labs checked so that you know your baseline. And number 3 is that you can live with vitality through these seasons. You are in control of your own health, and everyone should be taking protein, magnesium, and that was 3. But last, please check out my primal blends, the purified colostrum, the grass-fed beef organs from a New Zealand source, shilajit. I, like Andrea, like you've said, it's I am the mind behind all these formulations, but it comes from science. It comes from my personal journey, and it comes from things that I see are trending too. So I don't want to say we're trendy, but it's like, I'm like, oh, I'd love to try colostrum, but I can't take that because it upsets my stomach, because that colostrum is made for cows. I would love to take beef organs, but I want more beef spleen in it than beef liver. And I'm really mindful of the source. I don't want it to come from China, because a lot of the supplements you get on Amazon, not just saying you don't want it to come from China, but it's like, you don't know that it's actually beef liver. You don't know that it's beef spleen. They're literally just putting weird powders. Nobody's identity testing it. So I'm like, beef organs especially has to come from a really safe spot. And shilajit I want to take, but nobody has a capsule version of it that's easy to take, that's palatable to take, that's standardized fulvic acid, so I know what I'm getting is actually making a difference in my life. And the sourcing comes from high elevation. It's like, you as a consumer, an educated consumer who plays with GLP-1, who is in perimenopause, who is potentially looking at still fertility, it's like I'm wearing all the hats and trying to look at it from all the different perspectives. And yeah.
We're so grateful that you are. Like, you, again, we're trying. You walk so I can run, and I appreciate that. And everyone listening to too, like, you are a very busy woman. You are a mom. You wear all of these hats, and yet you're still trying to figure out, how do I elevate my own health while helping everyone else around me do the same?
Yes.
And it's amazing.
We got to do Unleash Navi because we have a couple questions that we're curious about.
You can go.
Okay. I want to hit home again that we're the same age. And I just, before I even ask my question, I just want to hit home with women that, because Brooke hinted at this, that it's not sounding like it's a glorious time. And I think, one, it's important to talk about, but I also think it's important to really share what's working for you, because I think it's like your spouse. You get with girlfriends, you could just chat about what's annoying you about your husband. But like, what kind of conversation is that? So let's also talk about what's going well, what we like about our bodies, what we like about what's happening in this age, because I think that's just like natural that we complain about the thing instead of talking about what's also going well. So if you're finding something that's going well for you, taking magnesium, tell your friends. If you're doing something that you're like, I'm actually getting outside and going for a walk, it's been so great. Start with that too, because I think it is easy as you age. Stuff is happening. I was like, your body is changing, and you want to make sure people know, or like if they have a solution, whatever. So I just want to hit home that, like, also talk about the great things that are happening and what you're loving about your life, because it's easy to complain. And then what does that do for everybody? It scares the crap out of Brooke. Okay. Yeah. And
give me the shilajit.
Oh my gosh. And believe, like, you are and become what you believe. Like, if you're like, I am going, I'm entering perimenopause and this is gonna be horrible, and I feel huge and undesirable and tired, and I'm not aging well, and I can't do that because I'm too tired. It's like, you become that. You become what you are telling yourself. And so that is, for me, like, being intentional and believing that I still can be the strongest that I've ever been, and I can still do anything that I want. Like, I'm sounding like I'm dying. I'm not 40. I sound like I'm dying.
It is like, that's how people treat you once you're in your 40s. It's like, oh, that's it's like, no, it doesn't have to be. And I don't believe that either. At all.
Right. So just believe you can, you are what you believe.
Yes,
for sure. You are what you eat, and you are what you believe.
I love it. Okay, that goes with my question perfectly, because I want to know what you believe about yourself, because you're doing really big things, and you're also a mom. You have 2 beautiful little girls and a husband that you adore, and I love that about you too, and that's part of your journey, is that they're a part of that. I want to get in your brain when you're thinking big, and you're like, you're big dreaming. There's no rules on this, how big this Dr. Stephanie's thing can get. Like, what do you see that's like, okay, that's the dream. Like, what is it?
Have I talked to you guys about like my manifestation app that I downloaded?
No.
Please say more.
Well, it hasn't even been recently. Last year, so I need to take a minute to talk about this. So last year I downloaded the Gabby app.
Bernstein?
It's right. Oh. And it was like New Year. So last year's New Year's. And I'm like, fine. I'm going to do it because I believe in this. And like, I believe, and we're just really starting to explode at Dr. Stephanie's. And so January 3rd, I downloaded the app and then I started journaling and like following her exercises. And it's like the first thing you have to write your huge goals for that year. Now, January 3rd, I had never had a conversation with Target. Oh. Never. January 13th, I journal, like my vision for 2025 is we're going to have items cut into 2 different categories at Target. And specifically I said 4 items. So unbelievable.
Goosebumps.
Yeah. So then 2 days after that, it's like, and you have a vision board. So like, I love Bloom and like the founder behind it. And like, I love her weight loss journey and she's always inspired me. So like, I made this collage and it's her in front of the Target store and the Target shopping cart, you know, and you're just like channeling it. And then I saved all these Pinterest of like people giving presentations and being inspirational and like women that are empowering other women. And 2 days later, it's like, you have to pick your sign. So this is where the cardinal comes in. So I write down bright red cardinal, close and engaging with me. And then later I was like, oh my gosh, a cardinal is red. Like Target is red. Like that's so cool. So then for months I'm looking for a red cardinal. But in the meantime, all of a sudden I'm just like, we're getting into Target. And I start reaching out to people and talking to people. I go to this big expo and I'm just like seeking out those opportunities, right? So we get a meeting with the baby care buyer at Target, like out of the blue. And on the way to the meeting, I see a red cardinal. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And we had this meeting and it was just like, she's like, I love you guys. I want to cut your product in September. And then a week later, we have a meeting with the digestive care buyer who loved our GLP Wonder.
2 categories.
2 categories. September got in cut in baby care. When I say cut in, once a year, they reset their shelves once a year. And then sometimes in a midpoint, they'll do 1 in, 1 out. And it was like, I can't believe it. Like our rep group was like, we've never seen a brand come out of nowhere and get cut in 2 different categories. Baby care, digestive care. Now we're launching in general vitamins. Now we're maybe launching in hair care. And it's like, it's wild. And I think, sorry, that was the most long-winded answer ever in the world. But I never truly understood the power of just you're acting like the whole concept. And sometimes I'm like, that's kind of dumb, but like you're acting like it's already happened. And the way you're perceived and the way you put yourself out there in the universe, is how everyone else perceives you. And it's so easy when I look at these other giant companies who have multi-million-dollar marketing budgets. They're blowing their, brains out trying to just influencers and UGC. It's like, at its core, Dr. Stephanie is me. I am the face of the brand and I'm just trying to help other people and bring the best formulas to market. And that's all that it's been. It hasn't been marketing. It hasn't been, just anything viral. Mm-hmm. It's just literally good formulas and education and providing value to the community. Yeah. And so what is the dream? I wonder this too, but like I envision Dr. Stephanie's to be a go-to brand for women through all journeys of their life, from fertility through menopause, and seeing the brand in all areas that they're shopping. It's not just siloed. It's not just natural anti-medicine. It's if you're on a medicine, if you're looking for natural, if you don't want anything and you want something topical, here we are.
So what I'm hearing is you are literally in the big dream, because you do have a product for every journey right now, and the topical stuff is coming. So you're like, you're in the dream.
Yeah. And now I just want like a hobby farm, and just like,
you're at that point. You're like,
I'm like, okay, so the next step is like, I need a Shetland pony or something that I like.
Show some chickens.
It's like my buddy, right? Like you could just see how suddenly like the most desirable thing you can do is simplicity and nature. And like, that's why this has been a fun journey. Like the Primal Blends is like, you're just getting back into nature.
Well, and that's what I love about having you on this podcast is our audience and us included, we hear all of the amazing things you're doing. You're thinking of the woman in every stage.
Because I'm literally in every stage.
Yes, but and you're also you're talking about, okay, I'm tracking the Oura Ring and I'm seeing how alcohol plays in this and I'm being intentional with sleep and I'm about to be 40 tomorrow and I'm feeling as fit as ever. And we get an inside look, the you behind this brand of like, how are you making sure that you're okay so you can keep performing at this level?
Yeah.
And selfishly, like, I want to know, like, what are your routines like? Like, when you're sitting together with your girlfriends, you're like, okay, what supplements are you taking? And what Andrea said, it's like, okay, what is working for you? And we get this inside look of like, okay, but Dr. Stephanie, like, how are you making time for sleep and getting up and still getting your workout class in and having time for the bone broth and going on these RV trips with your family? Like, that's my question is, how are you making time for all of these things? Like, maybe just give us an inside look of what is your night routine? How are you making sure you're getting enough sleep to get the workout class? Like, what does a day in a life look like for you?
That's a challenge because I love working after the kids go to bed and there's always so much to do. And I think that was one of the things that 100 billion years ago when I transitioned from college to the real world is like, your homework is never done. Like there's just ongoing stuff and there's always stuff you can do and you just have to shut it off at some point. So Brooke, I don't know. I am trying to figure that out. Like last night I went to bed too late. It was 11:30, and then I woke up at 6 and I was like, I have to do my workout class because I'm going to feel so good. And but tonight I'm going to sleep and I'm going to wake up being 40, feeling good. So I'm still learning it. I think as I've gotten older, I was never a planner. And now I'm like, I have to really closely plan my next day and plan my week. Otherwise things won't happen. It's just like, if you're not so intentional about it. And then I also, for better or for worse, I balance like our vacations, like spring break. It's like I'm logged in at 3 hours a day on my spring break and I am making sure stuff's getting done because we're launching this and like it's so important. And if it goes well, that allows me to be more present for my kids in future years too. So it's like, I think sometimes you're like, you don't always have balance. And maybe that's the message out of all of this is like, balance isn't doing everything. It's like prioritizing the things that are most important to you and then delegating other things or letting the other things just fall off your plate because you can't do everything. And so that's one of the lessons.
I love that. Honest.
Yeah, I think too, like you're showing it's not perfect. It's not, there isn't a secret. It's like you have to just keep doing your best.
Yeah.
In each of these chapters, when there's a launch, like, sorry, I got to be logged in just because this is a timed thing that requires a lot of attention. And it is tricky when you're a parent because you want to show up. You want to be the most present mom ever. And I think you still need to take the vacation. You still need to try and like look them in the face and be there for them as much as possible. But like, I also think showing them an imperfect parent and someone chasing their dreams is like priceless too. Like they're with you in the dream right now.
Yeah.
Working your butt off. And like, you want them to see what that grit looks like and trying to balance that with an apology probably sometimes.
And they see me more than when I was in the clinic, right? Yeah. But it's like, Mom, why are you on your computer? It's like, well, that's why we get to do this.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
But, I have a hard time shutting up. But one thing, you're like, when you sit with your girlfriends, I was like, I don't really have that many girlfriends because I don't have time. That's a season of my life where like, I don't really have time. But something lately I've been learning about is oxytocin as like the other hormone. And I think you think about oxytocin more of, I just had a baby and like the baby is like bathed in this oxytocin and love and breastfeeding. But like oxytocin is something that we all release in our interactions with each other. Like when I'm here in person with you ladies and I love you and that sense of community. And it's like that literally releases oxytocin, which we're designed as humans to have oxytocin pulsed in our body at all times. And it again is connected to cortisol and it's connected to estrogen, and our love hormone oxytocin is missing in today's like virtual world and society and tech world. And so I want to, like, one of my goals is to like continue that sense of community. But that's why my yoga class is so important, because to me, my yoga class is like my teacher's my friend. The people in the class are like my friends. And I don't know, it's more than just a workout. Totally. It's therapy, it's community, it's my time that I like exercise to me is so the non-negotiable. It is the one thing I truly feel like that I have 100% control of in my life is my exercise. So I drop the ball on cleaning the house. I drop the ball on other things. I sometimes drop the ball on work because I'm like, I know that exercising today is going to make me more creative, give me more energy in all other areas. So prioritize
100%.
Exercise.
You're killing it.
Okay, so our last question, we've had you on multiple times. And so I feel like we've asked both iterations of if you could go back and tell Dr. Steph one thing, what would you tell her? If you could future Dr. Steph. Yeah. So do I have permission to go full?
Go rogue.
Okay, go rogue. Okay, if you could only take one Dr. Stephanie product that you already have created, just one for the rest of your life, which one are you choosing? Oh, this is so hard. I know, it's like picking your favorite baby.
I would pick probably my berberine supplement. And I say probably because the second runner-up would truly be like my colostrum and beef organs I'm so obsessed with. But probably berberine.
Okay.
Why?
Because I think it is the foundation of all metabolic health, like insulin, blood sugar, cardiovascular, heart. It lowers inflammation, and inflammation is the root of all evil for any disease, any stressor, any ailment that you have. And it's such a powerful antioxidant.
Is that in Target yet?
So my berberine, when I say berberine, it's the Dr. Stephanie's carbon sugar blocker. So it has berberine, chromium, gymnema in there. It is not in Target. It is in Walmart. It's in CVS. It's in Walgreens. Okay. So you can find that everywhere on our website. It's in like the top 5 carb blockers on Amazon. So you can find it on Amazon too.
And we have a code GoldIvy30 that you can get 30% off the product. So go to our website, drstephanies.com.
Yes.
Snag the berberine.
Yeah.
Carbon sugar blocker?
Carbon sugar blocker.
Okay.
Yep. That's the berberine.
Great question.
What I thought you were going to say. That's exciting.
Yeah. I love colostrum, but because it's like you have all the bioactive nutrients, and beef organs are such great, highly bioavailable vitamins. But like, my berberine in my heart is like that hero ingredient.
She loves that berberine,
She
just
does.
like the bus driver.
That's
Me and Janie,
You're onto something.
all right, Dr. Stephanie. We are wrapping this up.
And creatine.
Oh, and creatine.
God
She
dang.
loves creatine.
But you said one of my products. Yes. Did I make that up? I made that up.
No, we said one of your products.
Got it.
Yep.
Berberine.
Okay, berberine's the winner. We love having you here. And
I love
the love is real. We got a triangle of love.
I do feel the
We got
oxytocin.
the oxytocin running hot.
We just admire you so much for so many reasons, and could just cry about it. But our listeners love you.
Why am I emotional right
Our
now?
listeners love you too. It's such a gift to give you to them,
Yeah.
and for
Thanks.
it's like it's our responsibility to share you with the world. When we know someone that is doing your calling in the midst of it while you're living it and sharing it, it is like the best synergy ever. We're so grateful for your time. So we love having you here too. It's so wonderful.
I love being here.
So don't want to wrap it up, but we know Dr. Steph will be back 50 more times. So as you know,
Please.
we end every episode with a piece of gold. Would you share yours today?
Put your own oxygen mask on before helping others.
This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
We love you.
I love you guys.
Everyone, this is going to be after the birthday, but go wish Dr. Stephanie a happy birthday on social media. Show her how much we appreciate her. We love you.
Yeah.
And listen to your truth and go chase your gold, everyone. Until next time. We want to thank you and encourage you to celebrate yourself for taking the time to learn and get inspired in your one beautiful life. And if this podcast means something to you, it would mean so much to us if you'd be willing to take 30 seconds to help support our mission to keep bringing you inspiring stories and guests.
First, following the podcast is important because it helps you never miss an episode. To do this, just go to the Ivy Unleashed podcast show page on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and then just tap the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow.
While you're there, if you'd be so kind to give us a 5-star rating and review and share your favorite episode with a friend, we'd be so grateful for your support.
We are thrilled you're here and are so happy that you're taking time to prioritize your wellness, self-discovery, and growth with us. Additionally, we want to remind you that this podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We are not licensed therapists, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals.